Hello everyone, I am Leela Krishna from ENH iSecure and thank you for joining the demo session. In this session, we will integrate Salesforce in Okta. Hope you have gone through the presentation of this integration where we have gone through the prerequisites related to the integration and the integration flow. Before integrating Salesforce, we will verify the directory integrations with Okta and move on to the Salesforce integration. So now let's quickly jump onto the demo session. I've already logged into my Okta tenant using my super administrator credentials. So let's look into that. This is the Okta admin dashboard. Let's click on directory, profile sources. As we can see, an Active Directory, CSV directory and Bamboo HR got integrated, as well as multi people got imported into Okta tenant. As we are not that focused on directory integrations, we'll focus on application integrations. We'll navigate to the browse app catalog. Most of the times Salesforce is displayed on top, or else we can search it from the search bar. Let's click on Salesforce, add integration. As discussed, a custom domain of Salesforce tenant is needed, so we'll get that from the Salesforce tenant. We'll move on to that. This is the Salesforce tenant. Under company settings, my domain, let us copy the custom domain from the current my domain URL and paste it in Okta. Let's scroll down and we'll disable automatically login when user lands on login page and click on next. We will select SAML 2.0 integration. Okta has generated sign on URL, sign out URL, iSure ID, signing certificate. We'll download the signing certificate. After saving, we'll move on to Salesforce tenant to configure identity provider. We'll copy the entire custom my domain URL and move on to identity single sign-on settings. We have to enable SAML enabled option under federated single sign-on and click on new. We'll paste the custom domain URL into the entity ID and add an prefix of HTTPS, and we'll name identity provider as Okta IDP. API name takes the name same as IDP provider. We'll paste issuer from the Okta. We'll upload the identity certificate of Okta. We'll paste the login and logout URLs of Okta. Let us verify once and then click on save. On saving, Salesforce has generated login URL and logout URL. We copy the login URL and paste it in Okta. Now logout URL. Let us verify once and click on done. Now we have successfully integrated Salesforce and enabled single sign-on. Now let's enable single logout. From authentication, click on edit. Scroll down to enable single logout. Click on checkbox. As we need a signature certificate of Salesforce, we'll get that from Salesforce tenant. We'll go there and we'll click on download metadata. Open that. We will copy the data present in X509 certificate tag and paste it in a notepad. We need to add begin certificate and end certificate tags in top and bottom, as it dedicates that it is a certificate. And certificate. We will save it as SLO.cert, as .cert indicates it is a certificate file. Click on save. Now we'll move on to the Okta tenant and upload the saved document. Browse it. Select SLO.cert file and click on upload. Successfully we have uploaded the certificate. Now click on save. Let's move on to the metadata URL. Paste it in new tab. Let us search for single logout service. Location URL. And we'll copy the location URL as it is the single logout URL, and we'll configure that in Salesforce tenant. Let's move on to the Salesforce tenant. Edit. Enable single logout and paste the single logout URL of Okta and then click on save. By this we have successfully enabled single logout functionality in between Salesforce and Okta. Now we have to enable automated provisioning. Click on configure API integration. Enable API integrations. We need to get consumer key and consumer secret from Salesforce tenant. We'll do that by creating an connected app in Salesforce. We'll navigate to apps, app manager, new connected app, or create a connected app, and we'll name it as Okta IDP. Give the email as system administrator. Enable OAuth settings. We'll get the callback URL. It is an error page URL of Okta. Selected OAuth scopes are manage user data via APIs, perform requests at any time. We'll add both them. Require proof of key for code is disabled, and then click on save. We have to wait for a 10 minutes as to make changes. Let's wait for 10 minutes. I am done with my 10 minutes. Click on manage consumer details. OTP gets generated to the system administrator's mail. Let's verify. We have received successfully consumer key and consumer secret. We need to copy that and paste it in Okta to enable provisioning. We'll copy that. Consumer key. Consumer secret. And I need to click on authenticate with Salesforce. We need to enter the system administrator credentials. Let me do that. And we need to allow the access to enable provisioning via APIs. As salesforce.com was verified successfully, Salesforce.com API is authenticated. Then click on save. Now we have successfully enabled provisioning. Here we can see there are multiple checkboxes to be selected. Click on edit. Select create users, update user attributes. Now we can simply assign users. There is no need of creating user accounts in applications. Click on assign. We'll assign it to a person from some source of truth. Diana Smith is the one. Let us select the profile URL as standard user. We can check box on this as per needed. Save and go back. Click on done. Let's try accessing it from his end user dashboard. We can successfully see that user got created in the Salesforce tenant. Smith Diana, standard platform user. These are other accounts that I have created previously. Smith Diana. Now we'll try accessing Salesforce from the end user dashboard of Diana Smith. We'll log into the end user dashboard. I have successfully accessed his end user dashboard. Now we'll click on Salesforce and try accessing Salesforce. Single sign-on is working properly. And I am into Salesforce using Diana's credentials. As he is a standard user, dashboard seems to be different for him. Now I'll try to log out from Salesforce, and parallelly Okta session gets logged out. Click on logout. As we can see, Okta session also got logged out. Successfully we have enabled and tested single logout. And this concludes our demo session of integrating Salesforce with Okta using SAML protocol for single sign-on. Thank you.